Assalamu alaikum students. So our today's topic is monomial times polynomial, page 9. So let's recall the product rule that if the same variables are being multiplied or the numbers are being multiplied, their exponents are being added. So this can be written as x to the power of a plus b. In other words, example, if z to the power of 2 times z to the power of 3 are being multiplied, the final answer would be z to the power of 5. We're recalling the product rule. Now this is going to be implemented when we multiply a monomial by a polynomial. A monomial is a single term multiplied by a polynomial, meaning an expression with two or more than two terms. So here it's a monomial times a binomial because there are two terms. So now how are we going to start is we're going to distribute this h with all the numbers inside this parenthesis. So h times h, meaning h to the power of a 1 times h to the power of 1 gives us h to the power of 2 plus h times 4 gives me 4h. Okay, so they ask you to find the product and final answer must be in standard form. In standard form, we need to make sure that the terms are written in alphabetical order and the highest exponent first. So I can see the highest exponent for h is 2, so I wrote this first and then the second term. Let's do question number 4. 6p, a monomial, one term multiplying by a binomial. They just wrote a polynomial because we can see it's times by a binomial. Here a monomial times trinomial. Here a monomial times trinomial. And you would see some questions with no, there are no such questions. With 4 terms, then you could have a polynomial. Okay, so it's just a general form of saying monomial times a polynomial. So now let's do 6p times p to the power of 1 times p to the power of 1. We add the powers, we get 6p squared minus 6p times 8. So 6 times, we're going to multiply this coefficient. 6 times 8 is 48, and this variable comes as is. The next is a monomial times a trinomial. X times x squared. We're going to distribute this x to all the terms inside. So x times x squared would be x to the power of 3. We are adding the powers. Minus x times x is x squared because 1 and 1 added to 2. Plus, there is no variable here, so I'm going to write 3x. The coefficient comes first. Now, before we finalize, make sure that they are in the standard form, meaning the highest exponent first, and then 2, and then 1, the exponent. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Negative 2x times 6x squared minus 12x plus 18. So I'm going to distribute this negative 2x to all these terms inside. So it would be negative 2 times 6 gives me negative 12, and x times x squared gives me x cubed. Okay. Negative 2x times negative 12x. So negative 2 times negative 12 will give, minus 12 will give me plus 24. And x times x will give me x squared. Negative 2x times 18 gives me negative 18 times 2 is 36. And there is only one variable here. So it's now we just need to make sure that they are in alphabetical order. So there is only one alphabet, which is x. Now in standard form, we make sure that they are in the highest exponent first. Now I'm going to do question number 15 because it contains 2 different variables. So let's get started. So now I have to multiply 10m4 to the power of 4n times negative 2mn cubed. So I'm going to multiply this with that first, and then I'm going to multiply this with that. Okay, so 10 times negative 2 will give me negative 20. Then m to the power of 4 times m to the power of 1. Both the variables are same, so I'm going to add the powers. It gives me m to the power of 5. And then n times to the power n times n to the power of 3. We add the powers. It gives me n to the power of 4. Now we're going to multiply this term with this. We're distributing everything. So it gives me 10 times 3 is 30. We can multiply the coefficients. And then m to the power of 4, there is no m. So I'm just going to write m as is to the power of 4. N to the power of 1 times n to the power of 1 gives me n squared. Now, first of all, m, n, they're in alphabetical order. So we will take m. We will go with respect to m. M to the power of 5 and then m to the power of 4. We'll just take the in alphabetical order, m, 5 and then m4. We will ignore this part for m. Okay, this is the standard form. Now the next is distribute, then simplify the remaining expression. Final answer must be in standard form. And we're going to do a couple of questions here. So here we can see a monomial is multiplied by a polynomial, and then again a monomial is multiplied by a trinomial, and this is also trinomial. And generally we can call them polynomials. And then we will combine them with the like terms. That's what it says, simplify. First distribute, multiply, and then simplify, and then the final answer should be in the standard form. Okay, so let's get started here. Negative 2 times 3m cubed. So this negative 2 is going to be distributed to all these terms inside. And then this 3m is going to be distributed all these here. Okay, so we will do one at a time. Negative 2 times 3m cubed will give me negative 6m to the power of 3. Now negative 2 times 5 will give me negative 10. There is no variable out, so we'll just copy this variable. Negative 2 times 6 will give me negative 12. Okay? Now let's make sure you're multiplying with positive, plus 3. So plus 3 times 2 will give me plus 6m to the power of 3, because the variables are being added when the variables are the exponents are added when the variables are being multiplied. Then 3 times 3 gives me, make sure you combine the powers, 2 plus 9m, add the powers, 2 plus 3m, because 3m times 1 is 3m. So we distributed first. Now we're going to combine the like terms. Okay, simplify mean combine the like terms. So now negative 6m cubed plus negative 6m cubed cancels away, because it gives me 0m cubed, so they are cancelled. Now negative 10m, and I'm going to combine negative 10m and plus 3 minus the 10m plus 3m gives me negative 7m. And I have this plus 9m squared as it, minus 12 as is, because there's nothing else, and plus 9m squared. This is all is left here. But now make sure that they are in standard form, but they are not, because make sure in standard form, how we write is the highest exponent first. So I'm going to rewrite it as 9m squared minus 7m minus 12. This is my final answer. Okay, let's move on to one more question. Example here, question 24, 4b times this minus this. So first we'll start from parentheses, which is inside. So first of all, I'm going to make sure I'm going to copy all this as is. I'm going to multiply this negative 5 to all these terms inside. Okay, and then we'll distribute this 4b afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to copy this 4b as is with this parentheses, square brackets 2a squared. Get rid of this one which is inside the brackets. So these negative minus 5 times 3ab gives me minus 15ab, and then this minus 5 times negative minus 2b gives me plus 10b squared. Close these brackets, plus 29ab squared. Okay, now I'm gonna multiply this 4b with everything inside. We're going to do step by step everything, okay? So 4 times 2 is 8. Write in alphabetical order. So I'm going to write a squared b minus 4 times 15 is 60 a b to the power of 2, because 4b times 10b gives me 4 times 10 gives me 40 b to the power of 3 plus 29ab squared, and it's not being multiplied with this because it's only being multiplied with whatever it's inside the brackets. Okay, now make sure we combine them. Don't forget to combine, simplify them, and write it in the standard form. So when I can only simplify this, my 60ab squared plus 29ab squared. So what will be my final answer? It will be 8a squared b, and this gives me negative 60 plus 29 gives me 31 minus 31. Make sure you just copy these as is, because when in combining like terms we just copy the variables, and we can only combine the ones who has the same variables. Okay, plus 40b cubed. Now they are already in standard form, because if I look at the alphabetical order, I have a b a b. Here a is to the power of 2, here a is to the power of 1, and there is no a here. So you will go with the alphabetical order and then the highest exponent first. This is my final answer. My next question is find the area of the shaded region. So we are going to apply this algebra into geometry. So the geometry application, the area of the shaded region. So to find the area of the only shaded region, what are we going to do is we are going to take the area of the outside rectangle. We'll find the area of the inside rectangle, and if I subtract from the outside one the inside part, I will have the shaded region. So it would be the area of the big outside rectangle would be, area is length times the width. So I'm going to do 8x minus 1 times 6x. Can I write it like this? A monomial times binomial. From this expression, I'm going to subtract the area of the inside rectangle. So it is length times width would be 2x times 5x plus 3. Okay, so first multiply them, distribute them, and then simplify them. So it would be 6 times 8 is 48 x squared minus 6x. Now when we multiply this, we get 2 times 5 is 10 x squared, and then I have to distribute 2x with 3 also. Make sure it's negative 2x now. So it's going to be minus 6x. Now I'm going to combine the like terms. I can combine 48 and 10. I get 48 minus 10 gives me 38x squared